Everybody across Canada will remember that image of Sidney Crosby throwing his gloves off after scoring the goal and getting mobbed by his teammates. And what some people forget is that the United States tied the game with 24 seconds left, sending it into overtime. And it was so tense during overtime that it was actually silent in the arena. And the puck was in the corner, and Sidney Crosby was streaking towards the net, and in the silence of the tension, you heard Sidney Crosby yelling clear as day, and those that remember, what did he yell? Iggy. He yells, Iggy. And that's because Jarome Iginla is in the corner, and he gets the puck out to Sidney Crosby. Now this is the part that I wanted to share with you. Jarome Iginla is a Nigerian word that means big tree, and his father was from Nigeria. He came here to Alberta and met Susan, and together they were together a short while, and they had Jarome. And in that time where they were together, they eventually split up, and Jarome lived with his mom in St. Albert and was raised by his mom and his grandparents. Jarome Iginla loved hockey. He loved hockey so much that he almost didn't hear the people who said, what is this kid doing? This kid with a dad from Africa, he doesn't belong in an arena. He almost didn't notice it, but he loved it so much that he went on to become one of the greatest hockey players in NHL history. Now, it would be naive and incredibly presumptuous of me to think there's any comparison between becoming the President of the United States of America and playing for the Calgary Flames. However, Mr. President, you can dream. And this guy, we loved so much. He did so much for the city that we fell in love with him. And I know there are young people now who for the past 20 years believed they could play in the NHL, even though they didn't look like a lot of other NHL players because they looked like Jarome Iginla. Just like there are girls who look at Cassie Campbell or Hayley Wickenheiser and say, I can skate as fast as boys can. And those people had their own audacity. And I feel like he was such an example for so many that we fell in love with him in this city, and he was so great that just 3 days ago, we raised his jersey up here in the rafters and retired it for Jarome Iginla. So, on behalf of everybody in this room, I wanted to say that we understand maybe just a little bit about audacity. And it's not just the audacity of hope, it's the audacity of audacity. To say, you know what, why not? Why not have a great city? Why not have a great country? Why not have a great globe? And as you have taught all of us so well in this room, why not now, and why not me? And so for that, we are all so grateful that you came here and shared this with us.
That's a great story. I got to meet Iggy now at some point. I'm all inspired by him. I'm still not going to play hockey because I grew up in Hawaii, where we have no ice, except in glasses. But no, look, I think that story captures so much of what's best in all of us. And at a time when we're spending a lot of time seeing what's worst in each other, it's useful for us to remind ourselves what's best. You know, people ask me sometimes what's the favorite speech that I've delivered, and I've delivered a lot of speeches that I am proud of. I probably go back to the speech I gave for the anniversary of Selma in my second term, because it captures, I think, best this notion of how students and maids and porters and housewives decide with nothing but the shirts on their backs or the dresses they're wearing and their shoes that they are going to upend the social structure of the most powerful country on earth. And they walk across a bridge knowing that they're probably going to get hurt. But recognizing that inside of them, they're not famous, they're not, scholars, but they have something inside them that says, no, there's this better idea. And somehow we have been enlisted in that. And they end up winning that battle against billy clubs and horses and hoses. And I say in that speech, that's America. That's what's best. That's this shining city on a hill, that moment, that idea. And that's not unique to America. That's you see that in human rights workers being jailed. You see it in women fighting to get an education. You see it in doctors willing to struggle in remote places to provide cures to children. And it's worth us reminding ourselves that not only is that happening all around the world, but it's in us as well. All right.
Yes.